Hey everybody, this video is sponsored by OKCoin Crypto Exchange. Why pay ridiculously high fees to Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance when you can use OKCoin, which has the lowest fees, guys? So if you want to save money on buying and selling and trading crypto, definitely have to use OKCoin. Sign up, link in the description. Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel. I have two very special guests with me who are no stranger to the show. I have Natalia Karayaneva, who's the CEO of Propy, as well as Michael Arrington, founder of TechCrunch, Crunchbase, and Arrington XRP Capital. Guys, it's great to be speaking with you both again.
I feel like we were just on the show yesterday. It was, I think, last week or something. It's great to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm excited to speak with you both because we had some big news from Propy of the world's first real estate NFT. So looking to make history. And Michael, it is your apartment that is up for sale, correct?
Yeah. I'm asking people to buy my house. Yep.
So Natalia, can you give us an overview of how the idea came about and the details as to how this is being executed?
Yeah, absolutely. Propy was founded in 2017 with launching the white paper about how blockchain can streamline real estate process. Back in the days, I couldn't believe that peer-to-peer transaction can happen in the real estate industry. And so through those years, we've been working hard to bring smart contracts to the real estate transaction. And then finally, with this NFT concept being adopted heavily this year, we thought, well, probably now people can understand that we can NFT also physical assets. So here we are today launching it.
So that's exciting. And obviously the world's first. And, tell us about the auction. I believe it's on June 8th. You have to sign up to participate. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We will be announcing the platform very soon in the upcoming days. It will be a traditional auction in NFT concept sense. And people will need to provide their real names because we're transferring home ownership.
So do they do that to register, or they provide their real name after they win?
That's a great question. They will have to register first, and then the bidding will happen in this specific platform. And then the owner will have the NFT as well as home ownership paperwork with changed names.
Wow. So to Michael's question, you have to put your real name, of course. And how does that go from an NFT to a title? Thinking of the current real estate process and how that's done.
And also, you're not publishing people's names. Like if whoever wins, you're not publishing their name, right?
We're not publishing the data. For the next, it's a proof of concept. That's the first ever world's real estate asset to be transferred. So it won't be as perfect as we wish to be in all the concepts of the crypto technology that we can apply. But in the future, we do want to actually collect the real names without revealing them on the smart contract level. And we have this company called Secret that we're thinking to utilize for next.
Yeah, Secret's pretty cool. I don't know if you know Secret, but this is a company we've invested in twice now. And they're allowing for NFTs, DeFi and NFTs to be done in with the data in the contracts is kept secret. And so but maybe I don't quite understand this, but my understanding, Natalia, was, and maybe we should work this out before the podcast, but there's an NFT we're auctioning off, and it's a one-day auction, and whoever wins the NFT auction gets the NFT through smart contract. They then have control of the NFT. They then have a right to claim the LLC, in which case there will be a transfer of the LLC to that new person. But they also could just resell the NFT without doing that.
Oh, wow.
And then the next person has the right to the LLC. Is that right?
It's almost right, with
Yeah.
one exception, that we have to collect the names of all the bidders beforehand,
Okay.
because they have the option to become the owner, and to comply with regulation, we do need to have real names. This will ease the NFT transfer
Yeah.
to happen automatically. But if the person, the NFT winner, does not want to enter the legal paperwork just yet, then they can actually transfer this NFT after the auction to other buyers, relatives, and so on.
Could that be done forever? Like,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
could be done forever.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And then who pays, like, there's small fees with owning an apartment, right? I don't think there's any property tax, but there's just stuff. Who pays that? How's that handled?
Yeah, so the best part of this particular proof of concept is this apartment, which is located in Kiev. It's a small, affordable property.
It's not that small. Talk about my house here. It's a
Start
luxurious small property.
brand new in prime location of Kiev. This is true. Very well finished, with awesome designs, interior designs. And yeah, so this property is exempt of taxes, property taxes.
Oh, wow.
So that's really cool. But then there are some fees associated with this transfer. First of all, fees to maintain the entity.
The LLC.
The LLC, which is an American entity, and Propy will help to handle it. It's just one annual payment to Propy to maintain that. And again, we want to use one really cool company to execute those annual payments. We can reveal it later. And then there are utility bills. So if the NFT holder will not occupy the house and will just hold it and maybe just resell it, Propy will also help them to bill annually those utility bills. So that's
Will Propy help them? What if they want to rent it out and not live in it? Will Propy help them?
So then we would just recommend the best Ukrainian property management companies, and then this holder will have to deal with rental income revenue streams through this property management company.
How much do you think the apartment? Sorry, Tony, I'm doing.
No, you're asking great questions.
Yeah, this it's hard to predict because you are the owner. You selected the art there. We got the picture of your CryptoPunk that you
but maybe we should ask that company what they think it would rent for. That'd be something I'd want to know as a buyer.
Yeah, I think like on Airbnb, it could be quite a hit.
Okay.
As far as an appraisal value, what are you hoping to get as far as value? And could the bidding go beyond the appraised value?
What is it?
Well, so I paid $50,000 for it, and it was late 2017. It is, as we said, brand new. Nobody's actually ever lived in it because I haven't had a chance to get to Kiev since then. It's also been renovated in the sense of like completely finished. When you buy brand new properties in Ukraine, traditionally they're not finished and you finish it yourself. So we've done all that really nicely. There's original artwork on the wall from a super famous Ukrainian artist named Cheese. And Cheese is amazing work. We spent a lot of time picking out the artwork. It was commissioned work. So I don't know what it's worth. It was the value, the market value was about $50,000. I think we got a little bit of a deal on it in 2017. I don't know. I haven't looked yet, and I will before the auction, like how the exchange rates have gone with the dollar, because obviously it's not really a dollar priced asset.
Right.
But actually, I don't really care. I mean, for me, what really matters is that this takes off. Like the minimum bid is $20,000. Personally, I'd love nothing more than if it closed for $20,000 and then the buyer immediately resold it for $40,000, and then that buyer immediately resold it for $80,000. Like that would actually make me super happy, just to see the ecosystem working and that people can transfer it and everything is going super well.
Sure. And I mean, just kind of a mind-blowing concept that a property can be moved in that way.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, like it can be moved as easy as a CryptoPunk. And you don't have to do anything unless you want to do something and take over ownership. Otherwise, you can just continue to transfer the right to ownership on to whoever buys it next. To me, it sounds pretty fun. So
For sure. So is it open to all users globally, or are there only certain markets that can participate?
It's open globally to anyone. There are limitations on age, and there are certain limitations that are described in the terms and conditions.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, if you might have some 16-year-olds that would probably try to sign up to grab your apartment, Michael. And
is that not, there is a problem is they may not.
In Discord, we have like tons of questions. What are the limitations on age? So I assume there are some kids that are trying
They
to
could just get their
deal.
parents to do it.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
And as far as the currency, is it like Ethereum based or USD based? What can be used to?
I was hoping people could pay with XRP because we're an XRP fund, or with anything, but I'm guessing it's going to be Ethereum only, right?
We still don't know because we're working in choosing the platform, and they have different currencies they accept.
What blockchain will this be on?
Ethereum.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming there will be some Ethereum gas fees in the transaction.
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, nothing's free in life, right? So you gotta, yeah. So yeah, I think you mentioned there's no property taxes, but are there? Let's say I'm in the U.S. and I do make this respective purchase. Are there taxes on the transaction?
There are capital gain taxes in case you will resell it with profit.
It's the same taxes that any NFT would have, and then if you take control of property and you do stuff like that, there might be additional taxes.
Sure.
The LLC costs a minimum amount of money. It's $500 or less every year, something like that, to keep that in good standing. If that's not paid, it falls out of good standing, and then it needs to be fixed later. So it's not the end of the world if that isn't handled properly. But other than that, I don't think there are any fees.
Yeah.
I mean, utilities on the property if you're using it.
And this is what Propy want to take care about.
Now, let's say I'm the winning bidder. I purchased it.
Are you going to bid?
I'll have to talk to my wife first and see if she thinks I'm nuts and crazy, and get to go ahead. But let's say I'm the winning bidder and I paid 60 grand and Michael makes 10 grand on it. How do I get the keys to the apartment? What will be the process for that?
The keys, the way you did got the keys was really fun.
Yeah, there's a picture that's on, I think it's on the landing page for the auction. We got the keys in Cancun at the Ethereum conference, and Vitalik was there, and the seller was there, a really cool guy named Mark Ginsburg, who's quite a character who lives in Ukraine, like a famous real estate developer. This guy also built large parts of Miami. He's just a super cool guy.
And he also just launched NFT tickets for Kiev soccer team Dynamo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But they handed us the keys. There's a picture of it. So we'll have to do a key handoff. I guess we could FedEx it, or we could meet somewhere and just do it. That'd be fun.
And as far as the registry of the title information, obviously a lot of this is done via NFT. How will that translate to the local authority saying this is indeed your property if the government comes knocking on the door?
That's a great question, very important one. When Michael bought this apartment in 2017, he bought it through this LLC in question. So right now, the land registry in Ukraine has the record of this LLC as the owner of the apartment. From that moment, we're planning to trade the LLC ownership through NFTs.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so it's the LLC really helps this to...
Yeah, keeps it simple.
Yeah, so we don't have to do the title deed registration in the local registry anymore. However, we do need to declare changing of hands, and we will do that as well in the company.
Very interesting. It's, as mentioned before, just mind-blowing, and the concept, I love it. Yeah, but Tony, it's not like, I mean, it is mind-blowing, but like the cool thing here is to then, you can take this NFT and you can plug it into DeFi, and you can use third-party services like Upshot is one that's coming out. That's sort of an oracle, a way to price it, and then you can borrow against it. And so I think very soon we're going to have a future where people are doing this kind of thing regularly with homes in order to plug into DeFi. which is way easier to use than banks to get a mortgage, for example. But also, like, there should be a warehouse that you can put your cars and artwork and jewelry in to do the same thing, to issue an NFT that is awesome, it's beautiful, and you can display it, but also more importantly, to plug it into DeFi and then start to borrow against it. And with non-real estate, you really need to make sure that that property is in the hands of a third party, because if the loan needs to get liquidated, somebody can grab the property without going through a legal situation with the owner. Real estate's different because real estate doesn't move. The owner can't move the real estate. And so it's always something you can go and legally grab as somebody who has an interest in it. And so I think all of this is happening, and it's happening really soon. And Propy's done an amazing job. Like, the tech here it's not simple. It's stuff they've been building for a couple of years now, but that's not the hard part. The hard part is all the legal sort of stuff around how to do this multi-jurisdictional in a legal way. And they've worked out a system that the lawyers think works elegantly. And again, proof of concept, but if this works out, this could end up opening the floodgates to DeFi capital being available for real world assets. And that's what I get super excited about. In fact, like, I almost want to keep the apartment, but still get the NFT and then experiment with plugging it into DeFi. And so whoever does end up owning it, I hope that they're a degen and that they're willing to go in there and like really try to experiment with ways to borrow against the asset. And I'll be all over that, trying to help them. It's really interesting to me. Like, $1 trillion business, interesting. So.
Right. Yeah. My next question was going to be, what are the benefits of doing this? And you clearly outlined one of the DeFi aspect and borrowing, lending, and things along those lines. Natalia, if this concept goes well, and I'm assuming you're going to look to scale this, will it just be kind of another service that Propy provides in addition to the current core service?
Currently, Propy is successfully selling transaction platform built on smart contracts. And in order to do the NFT part of the business scalable, we actually have to utilize this transaction platform. Because, for example, Michael, as a seller, he needs to sign paperwork to NFT a property. We have to have inspection reports for normal properties, title reports. This all is being handled by the core product of Propy, which is a transaction platform. But yes, we'll need more engineers, more team members to make it scalable.
What happens if somebody loses the NFT? That question gets asked a lot. What happens? Do they lose the house?
They do not lose the house, and that's our main concept, how we make sure that we don't have unclaimed properties and empty properties. So the way we're doing it is when the NFT winner, the NFT holder gets the NFT, they have to sign this paperwork online. It takes like a minute to fill out personal data information. They become the owner. However, if they lose the keys, or if they don't want to fill out their personal information, then the current owner will remain Michael. And thus, if somebody loses the key, the risk is that they lose the money, and then Michael will have the funds as well as the property. So for this proof of concept, we don't have a refund policy. For next NFT properties, probably we'll figure out a way to do automated escrow, but for this one, no refund policy.
So maybe we should add something to the contract that just says, I will agree to, if in the event of like lost keys, to retransfer it. Because in the future, you'll fix that one issue, but I'm happy to be held liable for that and make sure that people feel safe. I mean, that's no brainer.
That's wonderful. Okay.
And then, as to your point of scaling it and eventually moving it to other markets where there are taxes, that will be accommodated as well. Let's say it's in the US that a property, maybe, I don't know, if you guys decide to move somewhere else and you put your house up for sale.
There needs to be a mechanism for paying property taxes yearly in those jurisdictions that have it. And I think Propy has some good ideas around that.
Yeah, we've been thinking about if a property is being traded multiple times throughout the year while the current owner remains the owner and nobody wants to get into the LLC ownership, then the taxes will be owed. However, there are royalty fees, and we probably can figure out how royalty fees payment can cover taxes.
Well, I love it, and I'm excited to see how the auction goes. Is there anything else that you would like to share on this front as we wrap it up?
No, this is kind of you to do this. Getting the word out to more people, I think, is important, and you have a big audience, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Tony, so much. Well,
I'm a Propy fanboy. I just love the concept of having gone through the real estate process. I hold some Propy tokens, full disclosure, but I'm excited to see how this goes, and I'll talk to my wife and let's see what she
Thank you, Tony, for your support.